Welcome back to Green Gaming Fest. We are a marathon that started back in 2021 to raise awareness and help promote positive climate change. And throughout the weekend, we have been raising money for One Tree Planted, a charity focused on reforestation. Now, without further ado, I have DBcade here running Super Chinese Fighter. DBcade, take it away.
Thank you very much, Nordic Sun. Yes, I'm DBcade. I'm a retro fighting game, puzzle game, speedrunner from Japan, and this is kind of like this year's game that I've been taking around to events, so I'm really happy to show it off today. And I want to give a shout out now to like everyone in the fighting game speedrun community, because there's been a lot of people coming to the stream and giving a lot of advice and suggestions that have really brought the run down. And the list is pretty big right now, so I'm not going to go through it today. But for this event, the thing that makes it unique at Team Green Gaming's festival is that this time I'm doing the hardest mode. And so I'm a little bit nervous because I haven't done the hardest mode at an event yet. And so I don't really know what there could be some things that happen that, you know, might be devastating, but the time to beat is 32 minutes and 4 seconds. That is my own run, but there's another runner right now who's right around that mark and hasn't submitted their run. So I really want to get a solid run today with some of the new strats so that I can possibly hold that record and show off the strats that everyone else in the group has used. So just giving a little like history of the game and stuff. So yeah, this is Super Chinese Fighter. It's really a really hidden, I would say, not the best fighting game on the Super Famicom, but it's definitely a hidden gem, and it has a lot of really cool mechanics. And what makes this particularly fun is that normally Super Chinese Fighter is an RPG, or it has, you know, elements of like a top-down game where you're trying to like clear level, but this one is just a fighting game, except the story mode is actually kind of like a visual RPG novel, where depending on what I choose, certain things will happen in the game. And so you can take all sorts of different routes, and I'll talk about that in just a second, but I just want to show the options. So this is the legit run. The difficulty, as you can see, is 8. That is the highest. The timer is 99. The speed is the default of 1, and rounds don't affect, but it's just 1. So 1. So nothing else is affected. And having said that, I'm going to start here. It's an old Super Famicom game, so I'm just moving up and down so that it doesn't go to a menu. But I'll give a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and then we'll go. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so one thing about this game is I can do a really fast text skip. So I will be flying through the text. I use a skip of just holding down 2 buttons. So the very first RNG is this fight here. This is an automated fight. It is not the same cutscene every time, but you're seeing our 2 main characters, Jack and Ryu, fighting. Now, sometimes I get really bad RNG like this, where the fight goes on a little bit too long, and it's almost like they're trolling each other. But the game seems to have a certain time limit to this fight, and we got possibly the worst RNG we could have gotten on that. But we're going to skip through and go to our very first fight. So we're on planet Earth right now, and Lin is getting abducted by a Kyonshi. And so we're going to go ahead and use Ryu first, because Ryu has really good jumping normals. So this Kyonshi, which is a Chinese zombie, basically we are just going to kind of box them out with our jumping kick and hope for some good RNG, and we've already got the stun. So I may go for some combos, but on the hardest mode, the AI will anti-air me time to time. So if I try and do too many combos and I'm standing, this Kyoshi tends to react. So this is like the one time where we'll really abuse like the standard like fighting game trope of like just abusing with jumping kick. Now, one other thing you'll see in this game is that AI have an item once per round. You or your AI can use an item, and so the other huge RNG factor in this game is what item will the enemy hold. So that time they had basically a hole in the ground that makes me fall. So wherever, if they activate the item in that spot, if I walk over it, I'll fall on the ground. And you can actually take a lot of damage. And some items actually, there's one that's opposite where you can get thrown in the air, and that leads for some like huge combos because of the way the juggle system works in this game. Now, this is also like a standard 4-button fighting game. You have your light attack and your heavy attack, and then you have your special attack and your defense attack. This is always the same animation with Grandpa. He's basically training us to go to space, yeah. And we meet up with Poi. Sorry, not Poi. I mean Bokujin. That was Poi. And Bokujin is our guide to the galaxy. Now, all the characters you see, Poi, the Master, and Bokujin, we can unlock all these characters, but the route we choose is, because it's a speedrun, is the most direct route to the person behind the kidnapping. And the first person we fight is Goldfire, and Goldfire is extremely broken. He has a really disturbing barrier move, and I'm gonna try and keep in a corner, but we're gonna do a little bit of a similar strategy with the Kyoshi, but we're gonna try and box out and keep away. So outside of the Goldfire's like barrier, there's not much this character has. So if we get in a good position, we can do like a 1-2-3 combo there, where I'll like cancel my projectile. This is going really good. 1-2-3 combo there, and I'll try and space out fast enough. And then one thing that makes Ryu a little bit better than Jack is my standing neutral heavy attack, the hard attack, actually like leaps me forward, so I don't have to deal with being, pushed out or blocked out, and it does a lot of damage, as you see there in a trade. Now, I'm not catching Goldfire on anti-air, and he didn't do many barriers, so this just was like probably the cleanest fight I've ever had against Goldfire. It was just really good luck. He didn't, burst, and it's completely invincible when he does the barrier move, unfortunately. Okay, so this is the roulette where we can get items, and we actually got a really good item, which is the Nikuman, but the problem is the enemy can also get the Nikuman. Here's where the RNG comes poorly. The AI, if they get the Nikuman, will heal themselves once per battle, and it's up. The AI can choose to heal themselves at any time, so it's pretty much instant. So we can have some really bad RNG where the AI waits till the very end near death and uses Nikuman and restores half of their health. And this is the hardest mode, so now we're fighting Kamenchai. Kamenchai is a really strong character, extremely good anti-airs, fantastic movement, great chip damage. Just on a ranking of characters in this game is easily top tier. But I'm gonna try and box in the corner. I don't always want to jump right on Kamenchai because Kamenchai has, here's a juggle. Let's go. Okay, we set it up. So that's an example of where if you instantly jump after an air kick, you might be able to juggle again. Ooh, anti-air hit. Again, really clean fight. So now that that's done, we have cleared 2 planets, and because of the order I selected, what's going to happen is the mid-boss is actually going to appear early on, Tsuba Burn, and Tsuba Burn is just unbelievably broken in this game, mainly because of one move, which acts kind of like a high kick. So there's not too much I can do about it. I just kind of have to respect this. But I'll explain when the move comes out. But yeah, we're gonna stick to Ryu from now. We won't be using Ryu for the whole run. I used to always use Jack, but this time, Super Burn had the bomb. Bomb is a really cool move because if it hits, due to the way this game has like hit stun and lag on certain moves, it can last a really long time. And actually, you can pretty much do half-life to near-death combos because of it, because you can do multiple hits. I did a little DP there. I'm just trying to get a little bit of extra damage, but we weren't anywhere close to the bomb. Luckily, Tsuba Burn, for some reason, felt like it was a good idea to use the bomb early on. Do a little projectile here. That move there with the swipe and the standard kick that you see there, those two moves, they have so much priority that there's almost nothing you can do about them. They actually beat the final boss's attacks in this game. If you were to do versus mode, it's one of those fighting game things where, oh, it's that move. You know, I would compare it to like Street Fighter 2's, Dictator's like standing hard kick or something, where once it's out there, you kind of have to respect it. And another thing about this game is I'm getting scrolls. Some scrolls up in a pass, but they actually can increase your stats in this game. Those stats aren't always visible, but they actually increase your damage, and they actually later on they give you different combo extensions as well. We won't be getting those in the run because after we beat Robo no Hana, which is basically the galaxy's strongest robot sumo wrestler, we'll be actually adding Robo no Hana to the team. And let's hope I don't get trolled and we can have a real clean fight here. Now, from here, Robo no Hana likes to do this thing called Super Defense. So Super Defense is a special move that activates when I attack. It's almost like a counterattack, like you see there. But Super Defense does as much, if not more, damage than certain super moves. So unfortunately, like jumping in to do a combo all the time is not the safest strategy because of that. Another thing that Robo no Hana has is underhand slaps, and oh my goodness, and crazy moves like that. And another thing that makes Super Defense so scary is how long it can be held there. Unfortunately, I got to switch on this. But yeah, very similar to E Honda, has underhand slaps, has dark slide, like just like that. It even has like an anti-air one. And the Robo no Hana in general just has some of the better moves in the game when it comes to damage. Ooh, I wasn't able to get the juggle there. Let's see if we can keep Robo no Hana in the corner. Ooh, butt slam. Now, it's okay if we die. If we do lose, it's not the end of the world, because what's really cool about this game is if you lose, you actually can use your secondary character, and your character you just lost with will recover health. So when you go to the next stage, you'll be able to use them again, but they'll be at half health. So you'd have to skip 2 stages to get them. So we added Robo no Hana to the team. Now we're gonna skip here. We're gonna go through the slot machine, and we got the following. I don't use any of the items. It's just a waste of time to select them. We're going to the main galaxy path, and we're gonna come against Genjiro, and Genjiro is really strong. Now we switch Robo no Hana to one player. We're gonna do that every time. This game does one really nasty trick, and it doesn't tell you this in the guide either. This game automatically sets your characters that your nakamas or your allies to computer player. So you can go through this game not touching a single button. You could have the computer play all your battles. However, I do not recommend that, especially on the hardest mode. You most likely will get bodied. I've tried to do runs on my channel where, you know, we just see how far the AI can get and if it's faster at all, but no, usually it's not. Oh, here we're gonna get Robonahana's strongest combo, juggle into reset into 100-hand slaps. Another thing that makes Robonahana really strong, by the way, is that I have meaties. Genjiro just has long pokes and a full screen sword beam. Other than that, not even in the same tier. So it's really interesting how they reset into it. We'll do light into 100-hand slaps and easy. So we made quick work of Genjiro. So, like I said, everyone in this game can become an ally. We don't want that. And now we have a choice. We could have gone back and gone through a whole different side mission and rescued Rinrin, but we don't do that. We're just going to defeat the big bad. And so now is our last fight with Kyon Konchi. And again, Kyon Konchi, this is the one fight that I'm always debating on. Should I play this with Ryu or should I play this with Robonahana? But I've come to the conclusion that Robonahana can kind of eke out a little bit more damage, and I'll stick for that. But again, the neutral, I have to use neutral jump. That's where you just jump straight up and then fall back down. And so far, this is looking easy, but it's honestly because I'm lucky. I did 3 practice runs today, and oh, I'm falling down that thing. And I had the worst RNG a lot of time. I, for some reason, got anti-air. If Kyon Konchi does that move, I will get hit. It's a better dark side. It's really good. There's the anti-air move. Again, doesn't come out that often, but every now and then on hardest mode, the AI will rely on it. And that the standing hard attack, that little kind of where he swung his arms up in the air like that, like both hands, that essentially has a lot of priority. So Jack and Ryu unfortunately can't do anything against it. When that move comes out, they just kind of have to get hit, which is not fun. And it has a lot of block stun too. I don't think we're stunned. A little bit of a unfair fight, but we're doing pretty good. The old runs that I had on speedrun.com they just weren't the best routing and they weren't tricks, but I do want to also showcase the round because I'd like to have more runners for this game. Or even the Hiryu no Ken series, which seems to be related. Again, we're not going to use the Nikuman yet. I'm actually going to opt not to use it. Okay, so... Okay, Shabani is going to be... This is going to be a ridiculous fight. So we unfortunately got the... Not only are we fighting the hardest boss in the game, this boss has Nikuman. So Shabani is going to heal at some point, and I'm hoping that will be soon. Now, what makes this boss really difficult is it has everything you could want in a character. This is the best character in the game. It has an auto dashback. So any move that I throw out, this character will auto dodge like that. That automatically happens. It also has, whenever you see its fist, throw its fist out like that, it has the strongest super defense attack in the game, and it can combo into super defense. And then you also saw that it has the anti-air projectile, as well as a full screen projectile, which, if I get caught, can throw me to the opposite side screen. But luckily, one of the reasons why I use Robonahana is because of the stage, because all I have to do is get Shamani to the corner, and then I can use its auto dodge feature against itself. But other characters, that fight is a nightmare, and you can end up kind of soft locking yourself if you get stuck with other characters, in my opinion, on hardest, just because of how difficult it is. But now we fight Tsuba Burn one more time. Not any more difficult, and the good thing is I don't think Shamini used the Nikuman. I didn't. That does happen too. But oh, so this is the anti-air one. So this can actually be comboed in the air. So and you can use it to extend your combo as well. So if you, for example, throw it out on the field, and then we don't want to lose here either, because we're coming up to the end of the run. I had extremely good RNG up until now. Oof, that projectile's a little big. Okay, so we're gonna use our butt slam to try and fast fall around the projectiles. Super Burn is kicking our butt a little bit, so I'm gonna be careful because I'd really like to do the last boss with Robo Nohana, because otherwise it's very difficult. Oh god, anti-air beam. Super Burn showing off why this character is ridiculous. This game really does have some hard bosses, and unfortunately it's a little bit too long. I tried to test it out, and I wanted to show off circuit mode at some point because it's just fighting all the characters in a giant circuit, but it's a little bit longer than 10 minutes because it's so many characters. It is a very, very difficult mode. Alright. I'm getting hit by that. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. That was not nice. We're gonna do our super move there. Try and jump around. I'm just getting boxed out. Typical fighting game stuff. Just gotta do a little bit of footsies, a little bit of spacing. In the corner, again, normals are really good. I'm having a really bad fight here, where the AI is just doing everything right, and I'm not getting my combos. So, oof, the delay version. Oof. Okay, we're almost there. Again, if we lose, Super Burn won't be at full health, but because of the item system, if we had to refight Super Burn, we could actually be in a situation where the items are the different item is selected. So then, for example, the next time we fight, Super Burn could have Nikuman and then just restore back to full health. So, but luckily we got through. Out of all the fights, this is the only one that we had like an issue with. And now we're coming up on Ginga Ramao, which is kind of like the Destruction King. Think of like Beerus from Dragon Ball Z Super, or Dragon Ball Super. You know, basically hell-bent on causing destruction, and was ultimately the one behind the whole plan, because Rin-chan and all of us have kind of like mystical powers. So this is it. This is the final fight of the game. We blasted through this. I'm kind of shocked, but we're gonna try and not let Ringamao show off anything. And I'm gonna talk about meaties real quick. So meaties are when, in a fighting game, basically your move forces that opponent to either get to guard on wake up, and sometimes they can throw you. But the thing is, my air fierce is actually a meaty because Ginga Ramo is so big. So because of that, when I'm seeing the second bounce is usually when I'm jumping, and it's actually crossing over the hitbox and causing a move that Ginga Ramo cannot guard. So this is actually an unblockable loop. Now, I got lucky this time because Ginga Ramo on the opposite side has his eyeball can blink. He can do full screen lightning. You know, he has a super move where he rushes forward, and if it hits you, he absorbs your health. Just half your health. He'll recover it. Use the hole on me. I'm going to try and jump back in. Hopefully we don't get knocked back out. Okay, we're safe. Be a little bit focused here so I can get the record. And this is way better than any of my practices. So 1, 2, jump again, go for the loop, 100 hand slaps. Oh, sometimes the timing gets a little strange here. A little bit early, but we'll do 100 hand slaps, and time is coming up in just a second. right after this fight, we'll skip to things of text, and that's time. Whew. Okay. I am surprised we were able to get through that clean. This is a world record. Obviously, there's not too much else. There's a few other runners on YouTube and people who play this game, but yeah, it is a fun fighting game, and it's just I really like retro games, Super Famicom, so you definitely check it out. Maybe there's things that need improving in the route, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have too much else to say. If you like, kind of cute designs like pixel art, this game has a lot. We didn't get to see all the characters. The boxer there, we actually can fight him on one of the other planets. And the interesting about story mode is, like I said, that you can, like, for example, if I were to go back to Earth from where we left, eventually we'd go back so many times that Bokuchin would visit us. And then if we do certain other objectives, we can actually meet with other people. We can even meet the store shopkeeper here. So there's like special events that can happen in story mode, where if you go to a ramen shop if you go back to the same planet, a ramen shop will appear. And then if you decide to eat at the ramen shop, it actually poisons you. There's all sorts of things. Yeah, that's Bokuchin. It's just a really fun game. Yeah, circuit mode is also available if you don't want to deal with the Japanese and just want to enjoy like routing the fighting game. But yeah, highly recommended. It's about it's Japanese only, but I have the cart I got it for 10 yen, which is like less than $10 US. So it's really easy to get a hold of. And that's Rinrin-chan's like transformed form. I'm not gonna explain all the lore, but just know that like zombie movies, like Chinese zombie movies, were popular during this era. So if you're ever interested, just swing on by my Twitch and we can talk about it. And we can talk about retro games and stuff. That's usually, I'm always running something. And I can give a little bit more of the history, but it's more for like a movie side of things. So, but there's just a lot of like movie references. Yeah, so that's the little ending screen. Of course, when you beat the game, it gives you an extra code, so you can unlock some of the secret characters. So because we've been in the hardest mode, it'll give you a screen that shows, hey, if you input this in, you'll actually be able to get the secret characters, which is just Ginga Ramao and a few others. But yeah, thank you to Teen Green Gaming for having me. I hope everyone enjoyed this game. It's just a feel-good game. It's like a nostalgic, even if you've never played it, it's just like that nostalgic feeling. Super Famicom, like throwing down at some old school fighters. So yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, DBcade, for showcasing this awesome fighting game here.
Yeah.
We are going to have a brief intermission, but when we come back, we're going to have Nick RP Green running Klonoa 2 Lutea's Veil. And just so you know, chat, there is a bid incentive out there for the outfit. There are 5 different outfits that Klonoa can wear. Right now, we have the Prince Katamari hat in the lead, but Don Chan mask, a Pac-Man hat, or Klonoa 1 or Klonoa 2 are all available. So if you want to snipe that, now is the time, because we're going to intermission here, and when we come back, we will have that game ready to rock.